Arsenal move for Viktor Gyökeres could be scuppered by two big worries. Concern. I mean, that's enough to get anyone going, isn't it, people? We all know what Gyokeres is doing. The fact that he's a league winner now with Sporting Lisbon and they've got a cup final, and obviously Arsenal need a forward. Smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts on Gyokeres as well, people. Arsenal's number one priority this summer is a striker. Where have we heard that before? Apologies, pardon me. And Gyokeres is one of the names on Mikel Arteta's shortlist. The Swedish international is impressed at Sporting Lisbon since he joined the Portuguese side from Coventry back in the summer of 2023. And his stock's risen is an understatement. This season, the striker has scored 39 goals in 33 league games, as well as finding the net on 6 occasions in the Champions League. Enough to whet the appetite. In contrast, the Gunners have struggled to score in vital games recently after losing both Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus for long periods due to injury. I mean, we're used to Gabriel Jesus not scoring goals. To be fair, though, one does wonder, maybe not how our season changes or whatever, but just for him, what kind of season would he have had when he was kind of coming into form against Crystal Palace and whatnot? And then actually, it feels like such a long time ago, but he got injured when we went out the FA Cup. Another year of no silverware, eh? Maybe next year, man. Maybe next year. It's what we do. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta is under pressure to get his signings right in the summer transfer window after finishing second in the Premier League for a third consecutive year. Well, we've done the treble. And to be fair, I'd say the whole club, everybody's under pressure. You know, the players obviously are under pressure. They have to deliver. But if I kind of exclude them, I think Mikel Arteta is under pressure externally, not necessarily internally, to get over the line. And I think, you know what, those above you, Berta, do your thing, but you're not really part of it like that. You just walked in. The club is under pressure. You have not put this squad with the quality it needs. You look at the summer, you look at January, the players have been running to the ground. The manager has a lot of faults and cannot escape criticism, but clearly he needs his help now. We're making him do, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but he's been a manager for 5 years. That was his second year back in the Champions, well, as a Champions League manager, our second year back in it. You know, the man needs help. He's I don't mean this in a disingenuous way, but clearly the experience to what you're making a man do and making him a manager, he can't do everything and he's out of his depth. You need someone to meet him halfway, in which I hope Berta can. But Berta can't change everything alone. He also needs help. The club has to, the people above have to want to be winners. I'm not saying to keep people or whatnot, but let's just say Berta doesn't work out. We get a new guy, Arteta gets sacked. Nothing's changing. Since we've come to this Emirates, not that we've had many managers, but we've seen different managers, different players. And in the last 3 years, many different contexts and reasons and heroes and protagonists. The bottom line is we haven't got over the line, and we're getting back into what we was doing in the early phases. I'd say probably the first 20 odd years at this stadium. Is it 20? I'm capping a bit, but you get the point. The majority of the Emirates year of lip service. You know, the last 2 years, I felt the talking was correlating on the pitch. That isn't happening, but I'm letting my heart bleed. Let's stay professional. Concerns over Gyokeres deal. As well as Gyokeres, Arsenal interested in Isak from Newcastle and Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig. With the Magpies unlikely to sell Isak, though, it is believed that the Sporting striker is the second choice for the North London club. Apparently, senior football correspondent Sammy Moltbell revealed the two concerns the Gunners have about bringing in Gyokeres. Moltbell reported that there are worries about whether the Swedish striker's form in Portugal would translate to the Premier League due to the difference in quality. What do you lot think of that? There are also concerns about his age, with Gyokeres turning 27 before the start of next season. Arsenal would struggle to recruit whatever they paid for the forward. I hear that, and these are valid things. And I know we're not getting Isak, but Isak's a year younger than him. So whatever you're saying about age has to apply to about Gyokeres, would have to apply to Isak, really. And if you're not going to get 60 million back on Gyokeres, in which we just care about him helping us delivering with trophies, obviously, it's not going to happen, but using him as an example, if you were to spend 100, 120, whatever Newcastle won on Isak, sporting excellence, that's all we'd care about. But you're not exactly going to, you maybe could get your money back because he's a quality player and all those things and one of the best strikers in the world, but you're not going to get your money back. So where does this really go? And every striker has some level of concern. As great as I think Isak is, some would say injuries. Gyokeres, obviously, can you translate? Sesko, are you really going to kind of be that guy? We're linked with Hugo Ekitique and Ollie Watkins and all of these kind of guys. So you get the point. We have a striker problem. We've also seen whatever you have to say negatively, inferior about Isak, Hugo Ekitique, Ollie Watkins, Gyokeres, this striker, that striker. as fans, we've also seen that these things carry a risk. There's no guarantee a signing is going to work. No matter how much due diligence and homework and all that stuff you do, not doing stuff is a risk. And we've seen this. For how many years have we known we've needed a forward? Anywho, people, this also says Gyokeres is to join Arsenal next week. He's been heavily linked with us. He's overtaken Benjamin Sesko as our priority target. Allegedly, fresh talks have been scheduled to take place after the Portuguese Cup final on the 25th of May, which is Sunday, I believe. Apparently, O Jogo, who I think is a Portuguese outlet, take things one step further and say a transfer will be made official as early as next week. Fabrizio Romano also confirmed on Monday that Gyokeres will leave Sporting this summer. He said he would surely leave. The package is worth around 65 million euros, and he has a 100 million release clause, but owing to a gentleman's agreement, Sporting and Gyokeres will be, ending their marriage for substantially less. People. 53 goals in 51 games in all comps is ridiculous. 43 goals last season as well. And for Sweden, 15 goals in 26 games. And he's also played well in the Champions League. So if you, I understand and agree with, Portuguese league, can you do it in this league? But then at the same time, bro, like, unless I am wrong about this, yeah. And again, I agree with that perspective. But another one, unless I'm wrong, there's still 20, whether you're in Portugal, England, there's still 22 players on the pitch. The markings are the same. There's still a box. Football's the same game. If you can score goals in one country, you can score goals in another one. And regardless of what we say about the Premier League, low blocks, deep blocks, creative struggles, we ain't really got prolific frontmen. But Mourinho's found a way to find goals. Maybe not as much as we want, but he's found a way to score despite all of this. Kai Havertz has. It's very different. And we know Saka's great, but Saka has. So why can't a 26-year-old that kind of is in his peak powers do it? I don't know, people. We'll have to see, man. Again, you'd imagine it's not just Arsenal. Everybody and their dog is interested, people. Allegedly, Newcastle's ownership and transfer team will price rivals out of a move for Isak, despite Eddie Howe's bombshell admission. I'm going to skip over this. Eddie Howe just said, every player, more or less what every manager said, every player's got a price, every player's got ambitions. If we sell players, we have to replace. I want to keep my good players. We can build stuff. Obviously, offers are another thing. Naturally, they're going to price a man out of a move. You're talking 100, 120, 130 or so for Isaac, plus the prices, plus the wages, plus whatever else you want to do, because you still need to get Zubimendi over the line if it hasn't been done already. Still need to act on the left-hand side. We're going to go over that. And any other thing, goalies, defenders, owing to, Timbers having surgery, Ben White's not been fully fit this season, Tomiyasu, to call him a no-show, as much as I love him, is probably doing him a bit too much of a service. So I don't know what we need here. Interestingly, though, Newcastle are linked with Semenyo, who every now and again seems to be linked with our football club, Arsenal. Apparently, Bournemouth are ready to hold out for bids of 50 to 60 million, people. And he's also linked with Manchester United as well as Newcastle. Spare a thought for Bournemouth. You've lost Howson. Speculation over Areola. Probably going to lose Gyökeres to Liverpool. Semenyo, I'm not sure if clubs are going to spend 60, 70, maybe at 50 million. There's something to be done there. Who knows, man? Especially because Bournemouth, there's the fight for Europe, whether it's Europa League, Champions League, or Conference League, is still on, people. Eintracht Frankfurt's director has confirmed Hugo Ekitique could leave the club if the demands are met. You would have seen some reports in relation to Hugo come out yesterday that despite Frankfurt qualifying for the Champions League, he still wants to keep it moving. 100 million euros apparently equates to around 85 million. We have heard the more credible journalists say that we're interested in Hugo Ekitique, and we have to be able to pivot because only one person, well, obviously, your teams can buy more than one striker, but like Isaac, Sesko, Gyokeres, Watkins, Hugo, Nico Williams, Gittins, Garcia, all of these players, only one team can get one individual, So if you can't get Gyokeres, you need to be able to pivot. We need to do everything we need to do in the market. And we tried market opportunity. There's no quality. These things are irrelevant now. We've gone past that moment. So, yeah, man. Hugo has to decide that his future, and I'm glad we have him. If he decides otherwise, that's our belief. If a player develops faster than us, then we let him go as long as our demands are met. Fair play. And they lost Marmoush in January. They could be losing him. Arsenal see door open to 48 million Nico Williams transfer deal as rivals back out of race. We've heard a lot with Nico Williams, from his wage demands to him wanting to stay at Bilbao and play in the Champions League. There's been so many around the houses. Some reports still link Barcelona with a move for Nico Williams. Smash the like button, folks. Some say they're going to other targets. And I think Laporte has spoken. Barcelona have opened the door for Arsenal to sign Nico Williams after calling their interest in the Athletic Bilbao star, who was courted by Barcelona last summer. We all know he did his thing, people. Scored the winner in the Euro 2024 final, and he's been doing well. He's demanding 300k per week, people, and he remains linked with a number of clubs, including Arsenal. So we'll have to see. Understood to have a 58 million euros, which equates to 49 release clause. Is it 49 or is it 48? I don't know, man. You're seeing different numbers in his contract. Apparently, new sporting director Andrea Berta is claimed to have already held talks to gauge his interest. Now there's one less team rivaling them in the race after Barcelona president Laporte made the La Liga champion stance clear. Now, what people say in public and what they're doing privately are very different things. No club wants to show their hands, but Nico Williams was one of the candidates last season, but we decided on Almo, and other options are currently being considered. Other options. That doesn't say he's not going to circle back over Nico Williams. So we'll have to see. Nico Williams won't stop being linked with us. He's going to come with a hefty wage demands. Price tag isn't really that mad, even though it has to be paid in full. This has actually said Barcelona are actually back in for him. So it's silly season. Everybody's saying many different things. Allegedly, he's house hunting in London. Now, that could mean playing for Arsenal, playing for Chelsea. I don't quite believe this, but playing for Spurs, playing for Brentford, rather than play for Brentford, to be fair. You never know. In a move that would indicate where his mind lies, Nico Williams has reportedly started looking for a house in London as he prepares for the summer ahead. Williams has all but confirmed he will leave Bilbao this summer due to the 60 million euros release clause in his contract. Apparently, he's looking for a home in London. The Premier League is said to be his most likely destination, people. So we're going to have to see that. Arsenal sent direct Borussia Dortmund transfer message as club chief admits deal could happen. We've been linked with Jamie Gittins, as you know, as well as Chelsea and Newcastle. Specifically, what have they said? We want to reduce wages. That said, it's possible we'll continue with some players, but some may no longer be part of the BVB squad next season. In theory, I think he would be part of the squad, Gittins, but that might add any potential fuel to the fire. I won't read this because this is in relation to Gyokeres, which I've covered in a previous video, people. We're still linked with Bryan Mbeumo. Apparently, we have an active interest in signing Mbuemo this summer, people. With a decision making around the penalty area and his composure when firing goalwards earmarked as attractive traits when they are seeking adequate cover for fan favourite Bukayo Saka. He's into the last 12 months of his deal at Brentford. Apparently, they have a 1-year extension. He earns 45k per week, which Arsenal probably double, give you a deal into the hundreds, mate, you know, at 25, 26. Apparently, the Gunners are sniffing at an ideal opportunity to test Brentford's resolve, but it's unclear that he will not. It is still clear that he will not be available for a cut price fee ahead of next season. Apparently, sources have been informed that Mbuemo will head into the transfer window with a 60 million price tag, with his current employers demanding a lucrative fee due to there being widespread interest after firing the back of the net 19 times in all comps this season. Arsenal have had him on their radar for a prolonged period, and he's linked with Manchester United. If they get Cunha and Mbuemo to go with Ahmad, they're laughing. 25 years of age, I'm on that, but again, we could have a battle for him. Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Manchester United are all involved. Apparently, yeah, I don't care about with Sterling. Although Arsenal have shifted their focus towards left-sided attackers and centre forwards, give me GMS better yet sources understand Mbuemo spoken about as a potential recruitment behind the scenes as he's entering his prime and has shown steady improvement since first arriving in the Premier League. I mean, Gyokeres and Mbuemo, and I'm a happy lad. Arsenal apparently are considering a bid for Eze, people. We've heard that he's got 60 to 68 million release clause. He's just won an FA Cup. He's got a year left on his deal. Is it time to leave Crystal Palace? I'm not too sure. Or Crystal Palace going to give him the band, people, the bands, the breads that he needs. 68 million apparently is the asking price. We all know he can play as an 8, play on the left, play in the 10, Premier League proven, Stardust, all that stuff. I'm a fan of his. Manchester City, Chelsea, and Tottenham Hotspur, as well as Arsenal's names are being name dropped there. We've gone over the Mbuemo thing already, and apparently we want him, which I want him as well. Fabrizio says Jorginho will play the FIFA Club World Cup as a Flamengo player after receiving the green light from Arsenal. I know certain Premier League clubs, you know, don't want to let certain man get released to play in that tournament after they let his contract run down. Guess everyone's not classy. To be fair, not everyone's got contract. Not everyone's got trophies. Arsenal have made significant progress in talks with several key stars. Hey man, as long as it means Saliba signing a new deal. Saliba is a top target for Real Madrid. Magalhaes reportedly has Saudi suitors. However, we are told that Arsenal fans must not fear the departure of the club's biggest stars. Sources have informed us that several integral players are set to sign new long-term deals with the club, which includes Saliba, Gabriel, and Bukayo Saka. You can also see Wanyeri and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Trossard and Partey's contracts, despite seeing rumours that Berta wants to get them on the new terms, we don't know. And some people on social media, owing to Trossard's wife's posts, it seems like it was a bit of a goodbye message, kind of. Not all contracts have proceeded quite as smoothly. Trossard and Partey have yet to give the go-ahead for a fresh commitment. The talks with Trossard have already dragged on for some time. A breakthrough in discussions was made in February, but the final wage still needs to be agreed. It's not 100% set in stone that he'll stay this summer. As for Partey, both parties are relaxed about the situation, as Arsenal are aware that the Ghanaian is open to continuing at the club, although his signature is still pending. Should a club make a concrete move for him and Partey expresses a desire to pursue that opportunity, the club already have a backup option to be signed alongside Martin Zubimendi. I wonder who that is. Apparently, Lucas Agome is seen as the ideal replacement for Partey. I've done a video on him a few years ago, people. Timber will undergo ankle surgery after Arsenal's medical staff decided on it to address his fitness issues. It's unclear how long the player will be ruled out for. Get well soon, Timber. I've covered that before. A few months ago, sources in Spain told Telegraph Sport that Garcia's move to Arsenal this summer was regarded by many in Spain football as a near certainty. Now, however, the picture seems less clear, with Garcia catching the eye of other teams, people. Garcia's entourage has reportedly been contacted by Man City. Barcelona have also returned to sweepstakes, with Deco using Garcia's agent Andy Barra's close relationship with the Barcelona board to his advantage. More than 10 clubs are interested. As I reported a month ago, we had this wrapped up earlier this year, but we went radio silent on his camp. We'll better pick up the phone. Next week's our crucial, fully open race. I mean, boy, if anyone goes radio silence on you, would you get back in there? Barcelona are one club. Real Madrid have been linked with him, and a move for Garcia if Lunin departs the football club. So the race for him is hotting up. Again, Partey's priority is to remain at Arsenal for at least another year. We'll have to see how that pans out. Chelsea are considering a move for Joel Hatto. Apparently, a deal for the Ajax defender could cost 50 million euros. You don't know how much of a big fan I am. Mikel Arteta once said, phase 4 to 5 is about establishing yourself at the highest level in the Champions League, consistently perform with a lot of unity and being very close to touching big trophies. What do you lot make of that? What do you lot make of this? Time to go to the beach, enjoy a few days, and hope the guys upstairs do what they have to do. What do you make of that? And what do you make of Josh Kroenke? We plan to invest to get behind winning and doing better next season. Ultimately, we all want the same thing. We're as hungry for success as you are, and that goes for everyone who works for the club. I can doubt Arteta's tactics and stuff. I don't doubt that he wants to win trophies. I don't doubt the players. I've never seen Berta work, but I don't doubt Berta. Those above Kroenke are lying to us, because on one hand, I can't just blame you lot, but the summer, even if you didn't know anything about football and you were just an active investor, you look at that summer period and said, did we come into this season feeling like we've gained those 2-3 points that we missed out last year on the title, or the many points we've dropped? Did we feel better? No. And the fact that you lot did nothing in January, I don't know if you're as hungry as the fans, as the players, and as the manager, but I hope to be proven wrong. I can doubt the players and the manager and their mistakes. I know their heart's in the right place. You lot, I don't know. Seems like you lot are happy with Champions League. And the wickedest thing is you can still sit here and say 2 semi-finals, etc., etc. Imagine if this was our starting 11 next season, people. Do you think we can win the league? David Raya, Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba, Timber, Miles Lewis-Skelly, definitely not Declan Rice in the 6, but Rice, Odegaard, Zubimendi, Bukayo Saka, Viktor Gyökeres, and Rodrigo, people. What would that mean for us? But that costs a lot of money, and you'd still need a deeper squad.